Y'all, I just got done binge watching all 8 episodes of this new Netflix reality series called $1 Million Secret. It is a really twisted game show of 12 people competing for $1 million. Let me tell y'all something. When I thought Fear Factor was bad, okay, this one was a little bit worse, but instead of bugs and stuff and creepy crawlers, they literally pitted everyone literally against each other. And they had people split up into groups where people could try to gain trust from certain people. But it was so wild and beyond me of how much people will do to compete for $1 million. Like, put yourself in their shoes for a minute. If somebody selected you to go all the way to some fancy ass mansion in the hills, okay, and they tell you you have an opportunity to win $1 million. But what you don't realize is that at the same time that you're competing, everybody's playing mind games. Like, I would have never thought I would have seen something so mind boggling until I looked at each episode and saw all the crazy challenges they had to do. I'm gonna give you an example of one of the challenges, one of the worst challenges I think I've seen. So the host is a British man. He's like a famous screenwriter, actor, director, some bigwig millionaire, and he was in one of the John Wick movies. He's a really good actor. Anyway, he told one of the secret millionaires that was selected in the very beginning that their hidden agenda to stay in the game and not to be discovered was to make sure that they hugged all the rest of the contestants randomly while making conversation and not make it awkward. And then from hugging people, like that first hidden millionaire, she stayed for a minute. She stayed for several episodes. Nobody could figure out who it was. But anyway, he went from telling her to hug people to insert clever song titles that were popular smash hits into normal conversations to not make it odd. And each time they complete their hidden agendas, they would get like a one-up advantage. So she pretty much completed all her hidden agendas. Now, the group challenges where all of them compete and they split up into 2 teams against each other, that was the worst, okay? The first one, they had to compete where one of the people on each team chose to either run or chose to either grab the combination lock to these German shepherds behind the fence. And the goal was for the other player from the other team to run through the maze without being caught. They pretty much had to do the same thing to the other team. They both switched sides. So one team had to run with like a backpack and not let the dog catch them. By the time the other team figured out the combination lock to unleash the German shepherds to chase them through the maze. I was just like, they don't realize all these so-called BS challenges that they were doing on this game show were literally mind games. They were playing tricks on each other, and they were just merely guinea pigs. Like, as the episodes progressed, the challenges got worser and stupider. Like, it felt like the host was belittling them, you know what I'm saying? But he was also twisting with plot twist each round. Like, somebody could get immunity, or somebody could do what's called a kill shot, where they can actually eliminate one of the players that's not even probably involved as the hidden, millionaire at the time that nobody really knew. They just were playing a guessing game. So each time they finished their challenges and whoever won, the group challenge, they would go inside what's called the trophy room. The trophy room is where the host would select somebody from the group. The group would elect who would go inside the trophy room with the host, okay? And each time they go inside, they would get a clue of who the hidden millionaire might be. He would say something slick like, the millionaire completed their challenge at breakfast time, and their goal was to make sure they completed all 5 smash hits. And they were like, huh? And they kept thinking and stuff. But anyway, the whole point of this game show is that I learned very quickly on, it doesn't matter who you think you can trust or who you believe can actually work with you as a team when you're competing for $1 million. Everybody was playing like dog eat dog, backstabbing each other behind closed doors with other people, and acting like they trusted people, lying to other people about certain things. It was so crazy that by the time I got to the end of the very last episode, I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, the one who I least expected to win won. You know why? She had the best strategy. She knew how to get inside people's heads. She pitted people against each other. And she knew how to play the game very well. Like, she lasted the whole entire time. And I would have never thought she would have got it right. I was just like, man, her strategy is like chess. When one thinks that they can trust her and she just kept a poker face the whole entire time, you would have never thought it was her. But anyway, the thing is that each episode had a different hidden millionaire. She wasn't always the millionaire, but the way that she played her strategy, she kept herself out of the loophole. So yeah, it was a good show. It had me at the edge of my seat, of my sofa. Like, the whole time, I'm just looking at this show, and I'm texting my homegirl, and I was telling her, have you seen this show? It is so twisted. She said, girl, yeah, we watched all those episodes. It is crazy. And she had watched it before I got to the end of it. And she said, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's going to be the person that you at least expect to win this challenge and win this $1 million competition. And she was right. I would have never expected her to win it. But the 2 challenges that actually made me laugh was the one where the host was like, I'm thirsty. I need someone to make me a drink. None of my hosts around the mansion have been listening to me every time I ask for a drink. So your guys' next challenge is to go get the correct ingredients to my whiskey sour, the right temperature, the right ingredients, and then you win. And then you move on to the next challenge. And so I'm thinking, okay, so it's a bartender challenge. This isn't nothing. No. This fool had helicopters pick up each team member, and I think it was like 3 people to a team. He had them split up into like 3 groups. He dropped them off on the side of a mountain with snow everywhere. And they went inside of this like igloo-looking ice cave. And they had ice picks. And the person on the radio had to look for clues to figure out the correct temperature of the ice cubes that go inside of the man's cup for his drink. And then they also had to figure out the correct ingredients to make the perfect drink. And they only had like so many minutes to do it. They only had like maybe like 5 minutes or so on the clock. I don't know if there was a timer on them, but they said whoever got in first place and won had the advantage of moving to the next round, but not only moving to the next round, but also eliminating somebody. So yeah, it was a lot. I said, okay, that was petty. I was just like, why would you send these people on the side of a mountain to go pick out the perfect ingredients for your mixed cocktail? That is so crazy. And then the one challenge where they all sat at this dinner table with these dinner plates, and the plates were covered with the little, dinner plate covers, and the little um, servers that were at the mansion, they opened up the covers. I'm thinking it's food. Why all of them had a jar with an animal in it or an insect? And the goal was to put each animal that was in front of them with their bare hands inside of the correct riddle box that described the description of the animal. And these weren't your average animals. Oh no. He had like some kind of like hamster looking animal. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a mini looking porcupine looking thing. It looked scary as hell. He had some kind of African cockroach in one of them. Then he had a python in one of the jars, a bullfrog in one of the jars, and something else. And I was just like, first of all, I would have been just grossed out knowing, and a rat, that I gotta touch a nasty ass animal such as a snake or an insect like the African cockroach, that they had to figure out which box belonged to which. And whoever got the correct riddle boxes correct in such a short amount of time was the one who won the challenge. So once they finished, they went back to the mansion. And each time they go back to the mansion, they would sit around the dinner table. They would actually have real dinner. And they would speculate, like, given the clues that they would, given who was possibly the hidden millionaire and who's eliminated and who might be the next person and so forth. But yeah, I was just like, whoever designed this show, I am convinced that the person is a certified genius and also a certified psychopath, because this type of game show takes a lot of skill and it takes a lot of strategy to bring 12 complete strangers into one household and make them compete against $1 million, but also do crazy things and crazy plot twists to backstab people and see how far they're willing to go. I said I would never do that type of game show. I'm sorry, $1 million or not, I'm not staying in a mansion off in the hills in the middle of nowhere, one. And this show kind of reminded me of the, like those board games, like those murder mystery games, like Clue, for example. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of Clue, but worse. But I was just baffled. I said, I would never. I'm sorry. I'm not steeping so low to be fake and play dumb along with all these strangers for $1 million. It's not worth it, because towards the end, they all started to realize each time they came to elimination time and they were all getting emotional about it. One of them was like, I don't even care about the money no more. It's just the principle of that the people you think you can trust at this table, you can't even trust. And because we're all wanting this money so bad, is breaking everybody. And she was right. Like, money will change people fast. And it just showed me how greedy people are. Like, money is like the true definition of greed, to where people will do anything and screw over anybody to get that money. And I was just thinking, whoever came up with this show, like, they have to be some type of ruthless person, somebody that's got no type of heart, because how can you keep a sane mind coming up with a mind-twisting game that's kind of like a thriller, where you got all these crazy challenges and all these hidden agendas and, playing the secret box deal. And that's the thing that I kind of liked. I liked the setup of the way that they made this game. So, like, each contestant basically had, like, their own box. They looked like jewelry boxes, and each contestant had an animal on top of their box. And the animal was like their symbol for the person. So each time it came time for like a new person to be selected as the hidden millionaire, they would go inside their rooms and check their boxes to see if the money was in their box. And each time a new person got discovered as the hidden millionaire, the host would approach them in secret in their room and say, "This is your hidden agenda. You have to do this with your group or do this with so and so, and make sure you complete your hidden agenda. If you don't, you get penalized and you get an extra elimination vote against you." So it's like he was giving every player an ultimatum. It didn't matter whether or not they completed their challenges. The point was nobody was safe in that whole entire game show. And there was a plot twist to everything. Because I'm going to tell you how twisted that host was. He was so twisted to the point where when the millionaire stayed, the first one that was elected as the first millionaire, each challenge, he turned around and said that another person had another hidden agenda that he secretly elected. And the plot twist is that he could go around and eliminate somebody or turn around and do what's called a kill shot and eliminate the millionaire or whoever. But the thing is that nobody knew who nobody was. So it was hard for people to determine who was who because everybody lied so much and people were acting funny. So yeah, I was just like, I don't know how they slept in that mansion and how they all just worked together and kept talking to each other. Because if that was me, I would have been hella antisocial because I'm introverted as hell. Like, I'm not the type of person that's just going to sit up there and tell all my business, you know? And the craziest part about the whole thing is that not only were they pitted against each other and playing fake and playing nice and acting like they could trust each other, but they were also lying about their personal lives. One lady was like a cop. She lied and said she was a stay-at-home mom, but she was like a cop in New York City. The other one lied, said she was like a bartender or a server, but she was actually like, I think she said she was some kind of like designer or something. I can't remember. Then the other one lied and said he was like an entrepreneur or a construction person, but he wasn't. It was just all bullshit. And people were like literally playing the guessing game each time they did this challenge. But the moral of the story, folks, is that money will make you do crazy things, especially if you're placed on a reality series competing for $1 million. And the least that you would expect it, that's when the shit hits the fan. And that's when people lose their minds and think, oh, well, I can trust so-and-so. They got my back. But in reality, they're the ones stabbing you in the back and you don't even realize it. And I was just like, wow. Talk about a mind twister. And I was like, man, this is insane. Like, I'm not a real big reality series buff, especially on shows on Netflix, because I don't even watch those stupid dating shows that are like reality shows, because a lot of that shit is fake. But when it comes to like competition, like game shows, that's exciting because I know that these are real life people who are actually competing for $1 million, not some BS of, oh, well, it's housewives, basketball wives, none of that shit. Just straight up chasing the bag. And they will do anything and everything to get rid of people to get the money. And it was sad because I was just looking at all of them at that table, sitting there like wolves in sheep's clothing, looking at each other, smiling and holding in their secrets like they haven't done anything to anybody. And then when they came to the conclusion on how bad these challenges were hurting them, that's when they started crying. And then they started expressing their true feelings as they got eliminated. And they were like, I liked you, I never trusted you, but I wish you guys the best, blah, blah, blah. But that old lady, I forgot her name. I think her name was like, I don't know, Lydia. Lydia was the one that cracked me up the most. She was an older white lady. She lied too about her occupation. She sold people that she was an escrow agent for a bank. Her real profession was being a professional poker player. And that's why she always had this poker face, because she was really good in the beginning. I thought she was going to last till the end, but she didn't end up lasting too long. But anyway, Lydia cracked me up as she left, because she told the black girl, the other contestant, that she was pretentious and shallow and she had enough of her bullshit and she was glad that she was going home. Oh my God, that shit was hilarious. But yeah, y'all gotta watch that reality series. Again, if you have not watched it, download the app. It's on Netflix. It's called $1 Million Secret, okay? It will have you spinning the wheels in your brain, because you're just like looking at all these contestants and you're just thinking to yourself like, why? And is it that serious? Like, I understand it's a competition, everybody is trying to win something, but you know how there's such thing called like a friendly competition? Well, this wasn't really one of those friendly competitions. This was literally dog eat dog, predator versus prey type of competition, to where people literally had to suck it up, cuss people out. Like, people were snapping, people were crashing out on that show, and they were letting their emotions get in the way. And it was crazy, because I was just like, some of the nicest people in that show, they started cracking up, except for a couple of them, but most of them cracked up a lot. But yeah, I was floored by the time I finished watching that series. And then at the end of that series, it said there's a season 2 coming up. I said, damn, the minute I want to cut off my Netflix subscription, now they want to come out with a season 2 of that same game show. I can't wait for season 2 to come out, because baby, let me tell you something. Netflix deserves an Oscar for that show. Whoever created that show, they deserve an Emmy award, whatever you call it, because it's like kind of like daytime television almost. But yeah, whoever created that show, they deserve an award. I'm so serious. That is probably by far one of the best, like, mind thriller type of game shows I've ever seen. Like, I've seen some good shows, but not as good as this one. No. Like, the other game shows that I see people competing for money for, like, 50,000, 200,000, whatever, they be like puzzle games, laser tag games, like boring shit. This one was super strategic and thoughtfully planned out. Like, whoever planned each challenge for all these contestants, they knew exactly what the hell they were doing. And every time they had sat at the dinner table and they were looking around the table, seeing who they could potentially trust, or seeing who they could pit somebody against somebody to get the heat off of them, because they knew that they were the hidden secret millionaire. It was just tumbling down the hill. It was like people were literally rolling around in shambles, trying to keep their secrets or trying to finish their hidden agendas. I was just like that one hidden agenda. This host told this one brother, he said, your hidden agenda is to make at least 3 people scream to the top of their lungs at least 2 times. And then once you win this agenda, you have an extra advantage to the next round or some shit like that. And I was just like, goofy shit, goofy bullshit. Why would I want to make somebody scream? Now I understand the challenges, I understand the advances, I understand the extra layups, but some of that stuff I would have just skipped. I wouldn't even bother, because like that one lady, she had the challenge where she had to make 2 or 3 people say Justin Timberlake, but she couldn't sing any of Justin Timberlake's songs nor say Justin Timberlake's name. She had to implement a conversation and make the other person come up with Justin Timberlake's name. It was twisted. I was just like, I don't even know how people got through with all these different clues that they had to implement, because that takes like a lot of strategy. Like, you know how hard it is to make somebody say something or do something to make your little, challenge complete. Like, it's hard, especially if you're not a talkative person, or if you are a talkative person and some of the people are not vibing with you because not everybody got along in the house. It's like, how do you expect to complete every challenge or every agenda? But yeah, mess me all the way up. Mess me all the way up. But that's all. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I'm not gonna say nothing else to spoil the rest of this lovely games show series. But again, the show is called $1 Million Secret. Check it out. It's on Netflix. But yeah, I'm gonna go now because I got some more binge watching to do before my little precious Netflix subscription cuts off, because I'm trying to save my coins. Don't judge me, because I also cut off my subscription for Stars. Well, no, Stars, when I was about to cancel it, they pulled the okie doke on me and said, instead of canceling your subscription, we would like to offer you a lower price for $4.99 for 12 months. I said, okay, fine, Stars. At least Stars was nice enough to offer me a lower monthly rate, because I think the current rate on Stars is like $9.99, damn near $10 a month. The rate on Netflix with ads is like $12.99 a month. It's ridiculous. Or not, it's somewhere around there. I don't know. It's bullshit. The shit's too high. That's the point. The only app that's free to stream movies and stuff on and TV shows is Tubi, of course. But I barely watch Tubi. But yeah, Netflix is the jam. Netflix actually got a pretty good lineup. Definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. But yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to let y'all know. Oh, and another thing, if y'all haven't seen that new Tyler Perry movie called Straw, I highly recommend it. In my opinion, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. A lot of people don't like it because they say that Tyler Perry is still doing the same bullshit, not uplifting black women, putting black women in, lower positions than black men and all this other BS. But if you really look at it, it's just another version of John Q, except as a female version of it. But the cast of the movie on point. Sherry Shepherd's in it, Tiana Taylor's in it, Taraji P. Henson is in it. Like, the cast is on point. I don't give a damn what nobody says. It was a good movie to me. Point blank, period. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Y'all take care. Peace.